Well, New York Yankees blew it. Congrats to the LA Dodgers. You guys are the World Series champions. You guys have been dominant for the last 7 years, and you deserved it. You were the better team. You played better than we did, and congratulations to you guys. Man, where to even start? I didn't expect the New York Yankees to win the World Series. I didn't. I was hoping we would, but I knew the Dodgers were, a better team. They were wanting it more. We haven't been to a World Series in 15 years, and we just had a lot of issues compared to the Dodgers. So I'm not at all surprised that the Dodgers won, but it's just the way in which we lost. We had a golden opportunity, game one, to win. And just once again, just like in this game, due to bad, just terrible fielding, it went into extra innings because of it. And then from Aaron Boone just not being a good bullpen manager, putting in a guy that hadn't pitched in a month in the most important game in extra innings and giving up a grand slam, that set the tone. Next two games, Yankees just played bad. I mean, they just played bad. And then game 4, we finally won one. We were the first team to not get swept, being down 3-0 since 1970. But just like the other 3 teams before us, we lost in game 5. And we could have been the first team to win and go to game 6. But that didn't happen. We were up 5-0 in the 5th inning. 5-0. I've been watching baseball for for 15 plus years. I have never in my entire life seen a professional MLB, a Major League Baseball team give up 5 runs in an inning due to and they were unearned runs just due to bad fielding. Fielding that you should know at the fundamental level. These are Major League Baseball players on one of the best teams in all of Major League Baseball, out there making horrible errors. Like Aaron Judge, he dropped an easy fly ball. Anybody can catch that. That's a Major League Baseball player. Anybody. And once he did that, set the tone. After that, Chisholm. Volpe threw not the greatest throw to third base. Chisholm, all he had to do was catch it. He couldn't hold on. And then Anthony Rizzo and Garrett Cole just weren't on the same page. They weren't on the same page. And what should have been an easy out to first turned into a base hit because it's just bad decision making. Low IQ baseball. There's a lot of talent on this team, but they're just low IQ. They just don't. They fail at the fundamental level to do the most basic things. At least they did in this World Series. And I've noticed it all throughout the playoffs at times and even during the season in the games I watched. They'll make errors. It's just bad coaching and just bad not knowing the rules and just bad fundamental baseball. This is stuff you learn when you first start playing. And these guys are professionals making mistakes. It's absolutely ridiculous. When you give up 5 runs in an inning, being up 5-0, all because of errors and just unearned runs and just not knowing where to go, you deserve to lose. And that's exactly what the Yankees did tonight. Aaron Judge is kind of like Dak Prescott in a way. He does good in the regular season against not so great teams, but when it comes to the postseason and we got to play better to competition, he crumbles. Now batting, he had a good game tonight, but overall in the postseason he was horrible. Giancarlo Stanton was our MVP for the postseason. He was the one that kept us going. And even Juan Soto was solid as well. He was really good too. But Judge, the captain, the guy that's supposed to be the best, he choked. He didn't perform when it mattered. So, talented team, but there's just issues. I don't think Aaron Boone's a good manager. I think the Yankees would be smart to move on from him. I know he took the Yankees to the World Series, but he's just not a good manager. His bullpen management has been questionable since his time here. Whenever I've watched him, the guy just doesn't do a good job of bullpen management. But the thing is, we also don't have a great bullpen. Our bullpen is not great. I mean, Garrett Cole's a solid starter. Rodon is not too bad as a starter, you know. But after that, and Weaver came on at the end and became a decent reliever, but guys after that are just Jags. The last time I can think of where the Yankees had a solid bullpen, a really good bullpen, was probably like the late 2000s, early 2010s when we had, you know, Phil Hughes, Mariano Rivera, Andy Pettitte, CC Sabathia. Gosh, who else did we have during that time? Jabba Chamberlain. Phil Koch. A.J. Burnett. You know, back in that 2009 World Series, you know, late 2000s, early 2010s. We had that solid bullpen. And they haven't had that since a couple years after they won that series. So probably over a decade is the last time I can think of where they had a pretty good bullpen. And that's been the Yankees' biggest problem over the last decade, is that their bullpen is not the strongest. Their pitching has been questionable. They don't have a lot of great base hitters like they did in the mid to late. The reason why they won in the mid to late 90s, early 2000s, and even in 2009 is because while they had some big home run guys, they also had guys that were solid hitters. Jeter was a great hitter. You know, you had Jeter, you had A-Rod, you had Nick Swisher, you had Hideki Matsui. You know, you had those guys back then that were really solid hitters. But now, I mean, Judge is he's a home run or nothing. You know, Soto is pretty good, but we don't have a lot of great. I think Volpe has a bright future. I think he's going to be a solid player for us because he's still a young guy, but he's still developing. This team needs better coaching. They need a better bullpen. Cashman, they just got to spend more money, man. They got to go out there and get better they got to get a better bullpen, and they got to get better coaching because these guys are just they're not playing good fundamental baseball. When you're dropping fly balls and just like miscommunicating and just doing things to get yourself beat, that tells me that it's not smart baseball. It's just not. But, you know, I am glad the Yankees at least won the pennant. They got here, but, you know, it's just disappointing to lose in that fashion. But, you know, once again, congratulations to the Dodgers. And just to let you guys know, I'm just going to probably just keep this a Cowboys channel. You know, I watch baseball a good amount, but I don't watch it nearly as much as I watch, like, football. I'm definitely a lot bigger football guy than I am a baseball guy, although I am a baseball fan. But, you know, just disappointing, man. But once again, congratulations to the Dodgers. And Yankees got to clean some stuff up, man. They got to clean up their bullpen a little bit, get some better players. They got to get better coaching. And these players just got to be better. They just got to learn. They got to go back to the fundamentals. And they just got to be better. That's all there really is to say. But I'll catch you all later. Peace.